Guys, welcome to the show. Today we're looking at Suicide Squad. So, Suicide Squad is directed by David Ayer and centres on a group of hard-edged crazy people, supposedly the worst of the worst, who are formed into a group called Task Force X to save the world from any would-be threats. The group consists of Deadshot, there's Harley Quinn, Killer Croc, Diablo, Boomerang, and a few others that I suppose aren't really worth talking about. They're all brought together by a secret government badass played by Viola Davis, and their first assignment is to save the world from Enchantress, who is actually part of the Suicide Squad but goes rogue and wants to bring about the destruction of the world. Now it all sounds pretty exciting, right? You've got this end of the world threat, you've got these wonderful cool comic characters up against government control. If they don't succeed, they die, and it all seems like an awesome recipe for success, doesn't it? Ha! You were fooled too! This movie is so fucking boring. There's really no other way to describe it. It is just one of the most dull experiences I've ever come across. One of the biggest reasons I think this movie didn't work is its choice of director. Now, this is nothing against David Ayer. I'm actually quite a fan of his. He's made some really good cutting-edge movies in the last 10 years. He was a writer on the original Fast and the Furious. Then he wrote Training Day. You've also got End of Watch with Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. I thought that was an excellent film that was criminally underappreciated. And then wrote and directed Brad Pitt in Fury. Now, the thing is, for me, as good as he is as a director, I do think he's very talented. His films are very dirty, they're gritty, they're ugly films. The one thing I always prepare myself for is that there's really never any fun to be had. There's always this constant through line of just darkness and gritty action and, misery and just really ugly stuff. And that's not something I would associate with Suicide Squad. I mean, granted, the DC universe is darker than the Marvel. I'm not even going to go into that comparison. But with a cast headed by Will Smith, you've got Jared Leto, you've got Margot Robbie, you've got Jai Courtney. You've got such great opportunities for fun, and this film does none of it. The other big issue is just the editing. Now, the previous screenings of the film did not go well. The studio ended up throwing millions of dollars at reshoots, largely off the disappointment of Batman vs Superman. So they threw more money at it, saying, reshoot these scenes, get them done quick, we've got to get this film out and get people having fun. But they're all just hacked together, and they're really just disjointing the movie even further than it already was. And there's no sense of urgency in the film. You've got Enchantress, who's working with her brother, who is trying to make this machine to shoot a fucking light in the sky that will just stay there, and then it just collects debris around itself, and then it will just keep doing that while it keeps doing that. I've got no fucking idea what that machine does in the movie. I really don't know. Someone needs to tell me. And so while it's, shooting light into the sky just to signal how far it is away from our heroes, who are all the way over on the other side of town during a military escort, they're inexplicably shot down, and so now they've got to get there on foot, and it's such a desperate mission that they must succeed in, because remember, they die if this mission isn't completed. So they just spend 2/3 of their time fucking walking across the city doing battle against Enchantress's guards, who are these multiple eye-wearing former soldiers who have been mutated into her army, and they're shit. And so they defeat them, and then they just keep fucking walking. What the fuck? By the time the Suicide Squad comes together, it's 50 minutes into the film. This film wastes an entire first act of just setting up people and introducing them, and I understand that you've got to get these characters into place, but I mean, for example, Deadshot is introduced twice. Harley Quinn is introduced twice. Enchantress, the so-called villain of the film, is introduced twice. Amanda Waller, the government kingpin, godlike, owner of all these guys, she's introduced twice. And then there's Ric Flair, who is in charge of this group, has got to keep them all together, and he's got to be kept alive, because if he dies, the Suicide Squad dies. He has repetitive arguments about these guys are criminals, they shouldn't be out, they've got to be locked up, they're scum. He does that at least twice. And the film's also trying to be funny where it's simply not funny. During Ric Flair's introduction, where you get all his biography and all his skills, there's the sound effect of a golf club hitting a ball, and it says he plays with a 3 handicap or something like that. I don't think this guy's ever played a game of golf in his life, and even if he has, the way he would dictate the game, it wouldn't be enjoyable. If you get a par and I get a bogey, you die. You hit the ball out of that sand bunker and you touch the sand, you die. You hit that ball in the water, you die. Seriously, my God. If there's any redeeming quality about this film, it would have to be Margot Robbie's performance as Harley Quinn. It is on the money. She's put the effort in, and you can really tell by comparison to everybody else, even Will Smith to a certain point. Will Smith is an excellent actor. I think he's really, really awesome, but you can see he's just phoning this role in. He's done this sort of thing before. Another performance worth mentioning is Jared Leto's version of the Joker. I actually think he's quite good in it. Granted, we don't really see that much of him, and I can understand why. You know, this isn't really a film about the Joker. But mind you, these manic bursts of energy that come on screen when he's there, this is the sort of energy that the film desperately needs, and he's just not there enough to see it through. Apparently, Jared Leto has gone on record saying he hasn't even seen his performance in the film. I wonder why. There is so much to this film that doesn't make sense. It's cut very poorly, probably not the editor's fault because they had shit shoots and then more shoots on top of the shit shoots, and they had to sort of like make pasta out of pencils. If and when there is a sequel, I just hope they find a director who is able to balance a more enjoyable tone to the film rather than trying to keep things darker but have an occasional burst of humour which really aren't funny at all. Guys, I'm giving Suicide Squad a 1 out of 10. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hello to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. Be sure to hit the subscribe button for more reviews, and we'll see you at the movies.